Lori is one of Armenia's northern provinces, sharing a border with Georgia. Its name comes from the medieval Lori fortress built by King David Anhogan. The region is known for its green mountains, dramatic gorges like Tebet and Zoraget, and the UNESCO-listed Hakhbat and Sanahin monasteries. Vanadzor, the provincial capital, is Armenia's third largest city, with about 75 to 80,000 residents. Its name means Monastery Valley, and it lies in the Pambak River Valley, surrounded by the Pambak and Bazum mountains. Formerly called Gharakilisa and later Kirovakan, Vanadzor is known for its industry, cultural life, botanical garden, churches, and fine arts museum. Another fascinating city, Spitak, meaning white, is 96 kilometers far from Yerevan with around 13,000 people. It is remembered for the 1988 earthquake but has since been rebuilt and now serves as a small cultural and economic center with nearby villages Lusakhvir and Hartagyur. Stepanavan, originally Jalaloghli and renamed in 1923 after Stepan Shahumyan, has about 12,000 residents. Located on the Zoraget River and surrounded by forests and mountains, it is famous for the Stepanavan Dendro Park. Nearby villages include Armanis and Gadnakhbur, and historical sites like Lori Bert Fortress are also accessible, along with Hakhbat and Sanahin monasteries elsewhere in the province.
Alaverdi town. The town of Alaverdi is in the northeastern part of Armenia in Lori region. It's located on the slopes of the River Gorge and the Sanaim Plateau. The town is located at an altitude of 1,000 meters above sea level and is surrounded by high mountains and green forests. It's an industrial and important trade center of the north of Armenia. The history of Alaverdi. During the medieval period, the area around the present-day Alaverdi was known as Manasgomer or Manitsgom. The area was inhabited in the 2nd millennium BC, therefore it is rich with historical monuments. In the 8th-6th centuries BC, the region was part of the Urartu kingdom. Later, the region became part of the Gugark province of Great Haik. With the establishment of Hakhbat and Sanain monasteries in the 10th century, the region became a prominent center of Armenian culture, theology, and science. In the 19th century, Lori was adjoined to the Russian Empire. Nearly a quarter of the entire Russian copper was mined in this area, and a new settlement for the smelter workers was found and named Manes, after the French engineer who directed the project. In 1935, Manes was renamed Alaverdi and gained the status of urban-type settlement.
Akhtala. Akhtala Fortress is located in the town of Akhtala in Lori province, 185 km north of Yerevan. It was built in the 10th century during the region of the Gureket Bagradonis and was also known as Baganzahang, copper mine. Later it came under the rule of the Zakarians. Within the fortress stands the Akhtala Monastery, which includes 3 churches. The Akhtala monastic complex is a 10th century old monastery in Lori province. It combines Armenian, Georgian, and Byzantine architectural elements. In the Middle Ages, it was known as Baganzahang, where Ivan Zakarian was buried in 1241. During his rule, the monastery was rebuilt and transformed in an Orthodox church, thereafter called Akhtala.
Sanahin Monastery is a very old monastery in northern Armenia, in religion Lori, near the town Alaverdi. It was built in the 10th century during the Bagratuni kingdom. The name Sanahin means this one is older than another one because it was built before the nearby Akhbat Monastery. Sanahin was a very important place for education, religion, and science. People studied here and copied books. The complex includes several churches, a library, and a bell tower. It is known for its beautiful stone architecture and carvings. Today, Sanain is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Armenia's most famous monasteries.
Hakhbat Monastery is in the Lori region of northern Armenia, near the town of Alaverdi. It stands on a mountain area surrounded by green hills and deep cliffs. The monastery was founded in the 10th century during the time of King Ashot III. It was one of the most important religious, cultural, and educational centers in medieval Armenia. Many famous Armenian scholars and monks studied and worked there, for example, Hovannes Mastaser, Sayat Nova, and more. The main church of the monastery is called Surtneshan, which was built in the 10th century. The complex also has chapels, libraries, bell towers, and many beautiful cross stones called khachkars. The buildings are made of grey tuff stone, which gives the monastery a calm and historic look. Its design combines Byzantine and traditional Armenian architecture. Hafat was a place where books were copied, studied were done, and music and art were taught. Together with the nearby Sanahin monastery, it represents the peak of Armenian medieval architecture.
There is one conjecture that the name Kayan came from Old Armenian word Kay, which meant defender, defense. According to construction records, the fortress was built in 1233 by Akhbat monastery's abbot Bishop Hovannes for the Akhbat monastic community. Initially, it was called Akhbat Fortress of the Holy Sign, while the names Kayan and Sevan came into use in a later period. Today the fortress is also known as Aknaber, most likely because of its location near the village of Akner. Because of its location, the fortress became strategically important center. It suffered significant damage from the Tatars in 1241. Inside of the ruins of numerous buildings have been preserved, as well as reservoirs and clay pipes used for water supply. The church of Saint Aswatasin of the Sevan still stands within the fortress.
Kobaid Monastery is a medieval Armenian monastery in the Lori province near the village of Kobaid. It sits on the steep slopes of the Devet River Gorge and is known for its beautiful views and a peaceful atmosphere. The monastery was founded in 1171 by Princess Mariam, the daughter of King Kurike II. In the Middle Ages, Kobaid became an important place for culture, religion, and manuscript writing in Armenia. Later in the 13th century, it came under the Zakarian family, who were connected to the Georgian Orthodox Church. The name Kobaid likely comes from the Georgian word kob, meaning cave, because the monastery seems almost carved into the mountainside. The area around it is stunning, tall cliffs, caves, and even a waterfall nearby. The oldest building is Mariam Arshan Church, built by Princess Mariam. The main church was built around the late 12th or early 13th century. It once had beautiful carvings and a large relief cross on its facade. Kobaid is especially famous for its frescoes, wall paintings from the 12th to 13th centuries. Although only fragments remain, they show scenes of the Virgin Mary, Christ, saints, angels, and important religious moments like the Eucharist and the Dormition of the Virgin. Even though parts of the monastery are damaged today, Kobaid remains one of the most impressive and spiritual places in northern Armenia. Its mix of nature, history, and art creates a truly magical feeling for anyone who visits.